Hi everyone, welcome back. Guess what? It's that time of year again. It's the spooky season. In case you haven't figured it out, this is my favorite time of year. In fact, for my birthday next year, I have put in a request. I have requested a Michael Myers impersonator to show up for my birthday. I know to some of you that might seem crazy. And I started thinking, if Michael Myers was actually a real person and he was in jail, I might end up being his pen pal. I never thought I might be one of those kind of women who wrote murderers in prison. But anyways, he's fictional, so I'm okay, right? That doesn't make me too crazy. So of course, along with the spooky season comes the spooky movies, the scary stories. So today I want to share with you a few of the novels that are set to premiere for the month of October. So the first book I have for you guys today is Holly by my favorite author, Stephen King. And for any of you who may be familiar with his Outlander series, that is the first time that Holly was introduced. King then went on to give Holly her own book in his If It Bleeds short story chronicles, and now she has her own novel entitled Holly. And even though this book did come out last month, it's still close enough to bring us into the spooky season. So the synopsis for the story states, when Penny Dahl calls the Finders Keeper Detective Agency hoping for help locating her missing daughter, Holly is reluctant to accept the case. Her partner Pete has COVID, her very complicated mother has just died, and Holly is meant to be on leave. But something in Penny Dahl's desperate voice makes it impossible for Holly to turn her down. Mere blocks from where Debbie Dahl disappeared live Professor Rodney and Emily Harris. They are the picture of bourgeois respectability. Married octogenarians devoted to each other and semi-retired lifelong academics. But they are harboring an unholy secret in the basement of their well-kept, book-lined home, one that may be related to Bonnie's disappearance. And it will prove nearly impossible to discover what they are up to. They are savvy, they are patient, and they are ruthless. Holly must summon all her formidable talents to outthink and outmaneuver the shockingly twisted professors in this chilling new masterwork from Stephen King. So this synopsis leaves us a little bit open-ended. I'm not really sure if it has anything to do with the Outlander or if Stephen King is introducing some new horrid, eerie individual into our lives. I don't know. I'm really curious to find out. So next up we have My Darling by author Jennifer McMahon. And I'm a little hesitant when it comes to this book. I've already read a book by Jennifer McMahon, The Children on the Hill, and I was very disappointed because she led us to believe that it was going to be about ghosts, and it was not. However, I think I'm being drawn in again because the story sounds intriguing, and I hope I don't end up being disappointed once again by her. So the synopsis of this story states, Allison has never been a fan of Christmas. But with it right around the corner and her husband busily decorating their cozy Vermont home, she has no choice but to face it. Then she gets the call. Mavis, Allison's estranged mother, has been diagnosed with cancer and has only weeks to live. She wants to spend her remaining days with her daughter, son-in-law, and 2 granddaughters. But Allison grew up with her mother's alcoholism and violent abuse and is reluctant to unearth these traumatic memories. Still, she eventually agrees to take in Mavis, hoping that she and her mother could finally heal and have the relationship she has always dreamed of. But when mysterious and otherworldly things start happening upon Mavis's arrival, Allison begins to suspect her mother is not quite who she seems. And as the holiday festivities turn into a nightmare, she must confront just how far she is willing to go to protect her family. Okay, so we have the estranged mother, we have the traumatic childhood, and we have a crazy Christmas. We have a potpourri of craziness going on in this story. I wonder again though, is it horror? So I guess we're gonna have to read it to find out. So next up we have something a bit more intriguing. We have The Haunting on the Hill by author Elizabeth Hand. This book came out on October 5th, and the synopsis for this story states, open the door. Holly Sherwin has been a struggling playwright for years, but now, after receiving a grant to develop her play Witching Night, she may finally be close to her big break. All she needs is time and space to bring her vision to life. When she stumbles across Hill House on a weekend getaway upstate, she is immediately taken in by the mansion. Nearly hidden outside a remote village, it's enormous, old, and ever so eerie. The perfect place to develop and rehearse her play. Despite her own hesitations, Holly's girlfriend Nisa agrees to join Holly in renting the house for a month, and soon a troop of actors, each with ghosts of their own, arrive. Yet as they settle in, the house peculiarities are made known. Strange creatures stalk the grounds. Disturbing sounds echo throughout the halls, and time itself seems to shift. All too soon, Holly and her friends find themselves at odds, not just with one another, but with the house itself. It seems something has been waiting in Hill House all these years and no longer intends to walk alone. So again, we have the perfect setting, a haunted house that has a name, which never fares well with anyone that's living there. In any movie, in any book that starts off with the haunting of anything, you can't go wrong, right? So next up for the spooky season, we have Downpour by author Christopher Hawkins, and I have already purchased a copy of this book and I am currently reading it. This book actually came out in September as well, but as I said, it's October, so anything is up for grabs as long as it's going to scare us. And if I'm not mistaken, I do believe that this is an independent author, but it has been listed as one of the books to read for October. And although I am only a couple pages in, so far, so good. So the synopsis for this story states, a sudden storm appears above an isolated farmhouse in rural Illinois, bringing with it a relentless and unnatural rain. A rain that eats away at everything it touches. A rain that turns people into monsters. Trapped inside his crumbling home, a father must do everything he can to keep his family from falling apart. But the rain calls to them, and not everyone wants to stay inside. Haunted by memories of loss, he must put aside his pain, past, and find a way to keep them all safe. But the rain shows no signs of stopping, and time is running out. For any of you who are horror fans, this is the perfect story for this time of year. You have people trapped inside of something, a dwelling, and there is a rain coming down and it's turning people into monsters. What are you going to do? How are you going to survive? Who is going to survive in this story? I need to know. Luckily, this story is only 245 pages, so it should be a quick read. And I'm going to be really excited to let you guys know what I thought about it. So that's all I have for you guys today. Whatever you are planning on reading for the month of October, guys, let me know. I need to be scared this month. I'm not getting Michael Myers until January of next year. Guys, let me know what you're reading. Let me know what you got that's going to keep me scared to the point that I can't sleep at night. So that's all I have for you guys today. And until next time, you guys take care, stay safe, and try to do something nice for a stranger so we can all do our part to make this world